So we've had a pretty lucky afternoon this afternoon. We just came along one of the river roads that runs along the Sand River, and we found the 2 Ntsevu lionesses with the 3 remaining cubs from the Birmingham male, and they're lying up on what's known as Plaque Rock, which is a pretty spectacular view here. We managed to get ourselves into a position where we're slightly beneath them, shooting up, and we've got a lot of clouds on the western horizon there, some backlit light coming through from the setting sun, so it's just a pretty spectacular scene here. And I guess these rocks are quite iconic for all of those at Londolozi, and what a special view that we've got here. And it's also just great to see how well these lionesses are doing and how much these cubs are thriving at the moment. There's going to be a tricky road going forward with the Ntsevu males pushing further and further north, but they seem to have done pretty well so far, and I'm sure they'll keep thriving as they are already. But it's been an awesome afternoon with them here, and we're going to make some space for some of the other rangers to get in here. So this afternoon's mission, myself, Dan and Freddie have gone down on foot to try and find the Plaque Rock male and Piccadilly female. They've been mating, and we believe that they'd come into the river pretty close to one of the iconic spots on Londolozi, Plaque Rock. So we're walking in now to see if we can try and find them. So it's quite tense, the wind is blowing, the reeds are rustling, and so we gotta be very careful and cautious when we walk through here. So we've just managed to find them. They're not too far from us here, just behind some reeds. We had a very brief view of him, and then she popped out. Shortly after that, as we were retreating, we just heard them mating. At least we know they're here. So the next problem we're going to have is trying to get a vehicle in there. So we've managed to get a vehicle in. You can see where Dan's parked there. And off to the left of him by about 10 meters or so, they're lying in the very thick vegetation there. It's incredibly thick and difficult to get a vehicle in because there's all these water courses and channels that the river has eroded over time. And with the reeds being this long, it's very difficult to see where there's a drop off or where to get the vehicle in without getting stuck. So he's managed to get a very narrow view of them there. We're just going to wait here in case they do come out into the open. If not, we might try and get around onto the other side and see if we can get a view. So the view's improved only a fraction. We had them mating very briefly behind some reeds here, so you could hear the growling, see the reeds thrashing around. So he's now moved a bit further around, and we've got a view of her. I don't want to say out in the open, but at least we can see a couple of those spots there as she's just resting now. And often what happens with leopards when they're mating, the female's the one that instigates. So she's probably going to move across to him, and he's behind some more reeds over that side. So if nothing really improves in the next little while, we're going to pack up and move out and make some space for some of the other guys to get in here. But still, what an awesome time walking in here, tracking them, following the tracks, using Freddie's expert skills to be able to then determine exactly where they were, find them on foot, and then hear them mating while we were on foot not too far away. So an awesome, exhilarating afternoon, although it hasn't been the greatest view of the actual leopards mating. At least we found them and had a successful afternoon nonetheless.